Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 2024 love reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it's all the good things that YouTube likes. So, thank you so very much for doing so. So, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, goodness. Show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay. So we are crowned with the Hermit, which is also strong Virgo energy. So if you have Virgo in your chart, if you have Virgo in your life here, Taurus, it comes through very powerfully, very strongly here, crowning the reading. But it's also a time in April where we're going to see that we're turning inward, and we're also asking ourselves, what do I love? What do I want? Where is it that I want to be in love, or what does love look like for me? It brings us then to the Magician. As above, so below. As you believe it, so it will become. But this is also standing before the altar of our existence, claiming what we want, claiming our talents, seeing ourselves. That's going to be a huge part of April. It's almost like you're coming out of a slumber and you're seeing you, Taurus. We then have the Three of Pentacles. We're working very hard. So we're going to be very detail oriented during this time. So just note that things in love that might not bother you, like, at other times, they will bother you this time. So not to be pessimistic about anything, but you're going to be much more detail oriented and not so ready to just let things slide. Like, oh, that's no big deal. Oh, that's no big deal. It's like, no, it's a big deal. This is important. And I'm here for this. So that's going to be a very important thing. With the Three of Pentacles also, as we, stand before the altar of our existence, we're also looking at how we are weaving, how we are creating, how we are cultivating what we want, and how we are also working with others. So this is going to be a time where we might have a lot of love opportunities coming our way, or looking at things and saying, well, what about this? What about that? In relationships, if we are in a relationship, this can also be a time where we have a back and forth with our partner saying, okay, well, what do you want? And how do you want to move forward? And this is how I want to move forward. And this is where I want to be. We're a lot more forthright with ourselves during this time. We have the Ace of Cups. This is God's source spirit. However you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of healing, beautiful love. This is also a gift of love. So you take this gift because we have the Ace of Cups. We have the Magician that has all the court cards on the table. Excuse me. So taking this gift of love is going to be really important for us. But when we take a gift of love, it also kind of stirs up our emotions. I always think of it as, when you're making chicken soup and you stir the pot and all the vegetables and everything comes up, that's like the Ace of Cups. So here we can have things come up that need to be released. So you might find that you're a little bit more prone to tears during this time, or you are a little bit more sensitive. Things hit you harder. It's not a bad thing. It's saying, okay, this is where my heart is at, and this is what my heart needs. It brings us then to the Six of Pentacles. We are going to see where things are out of balance, and we're going to be very aware where things are out of balance in our lives and why these things are out of balance. Well, maybe the why might be something still that we're uncovering, but we're going to become more aware of the harmony that we need within our life, within our relationships. And we have the Ace of Wands. So this is passion. And again, we take this gift most definitely. And with the Ace of Wands, we have it as we turn inward, with the Hermit holding up the torch, and we have it with the Magician holding up the wand. So the Ace of Wands is again God's source spirit. However you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of fire, of passion, of creativity, of insight. This is going to be a time where we might be just a little bit more work oriented than we are love oriented. Or we can find that we fall in love with people or really have close relationships with people that can speak the language that we do creatively or work wise. That's going to be a major turn on for us. So just being aware of this during this time is going to be important, because even if we are in a relationship, if our partner can't talk to us about the things that really are interesting us, we might be like, oh, this just isn't the right relationship for me. Where it can just be, okay, we're just super in work mode, super in achievement, succeeding, pushing the envelope mode, or, getting things done mode, and stepping back and saying, you know what, these are the reasons why I really love my partner. This is great. I'm kind of jumping the gun can be very important during this time. So just be aware of this. If we're really knowing, okay, I have to have a change, that's one thing. But knowing also that we have the number one now 3 times, we have 2 aces, number one, and we have the magician, number one in the major arcana. This is very much a go-getting time for us. This is a time of achievement, success. This is also a time of living out loud, of saying, I'm not going to be put into a box. I'm not going to be defined the way that you want to define me. I am going to define me. And I'm going to do so with gusto and, and power and distinction. We will also find here, Taurus, that we're stepping back into ourselves. Now, for some of us, we might never have really known, like, the way that we wanted to present ourselves to the world, or the way that we felt the most comfortable. But I'm seeing here that a lot of us did, like a lot of us do when we're really small. And also when we're teenagers and we're kind of like not trying to go with the herd of this is how everybody is, when we let ourselves truly be ourselves. And this is going to be a time where we start to say, but I always loved this. I always loved that. And this is always so exciting to me. And we're going to be going back to that. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Now, if you are interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a rain cloud in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on Sunday. So good luck to everyone. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Here we have mindful. This is a time to live a mindful life and to be mindful when it comes to love. Sometimes in love, our desire to be loved and our desire for love can just overpower everything. And we can just, we know what we don't want. And so it will be very easy for us, Taurus, to be like, this is what I don't want. But with our power of manifestation as a Taurian, we are magnificent manifestors. We need to be mindful. We need to be mindful where we're harnessing our energy, what we're putting our intentions to. And by being mindful, we can start to see what's cluttering our mind, what's holding us back, what's keeping us from the place that we really want to be. And it brings us then to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is peace. That's what this time is. It's like taking a nice deep breath in and exhaling, embracing our crown chakra, crowning ourselves with peace, with harmony, with love, with connection. We need to crown ourselves with peace. When it comes to love, we can want somebody to see us. We can want somebody to be with us, right? We can want to be more seen by our partners, more connected with. But here, this is going to be a time where Spirit says, turn inward and find your peace. Turn inward and see where you stand within your soul. And I know that sounds so silly for a love reading to say, well, you need to find your peace, but it's so important. It is so important to find harmony within yourself. And it can be when we're in a relationship. It can be when we're out of a relationship. We can not want to be in a relationship, but say, okay, how do I get love to be all around my life? It is by embracing our peace. And sometimes peace is easy to find. Sometimes peace is elusive. Sometimes life is intense. And so crowning ourselves and seeing peace and seeing harmony is going to be just absolutely magnificent for us. And it moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the 9 of Wands. We are so tired of constant fighting. We are. We're so tired of having to be on guard. And this has become almost a part of our lives, right? We have to be on guard. We have to be mindful of XYZ. So here, just looking at it and saying, I don't want the fighting. I don't. And this can mean that we can be stepping away from that person that we thought, oh, that person was my person, but it's always fighting. It's always chaos. It's always aggravating. And now Spirit is saying, choose peace, choose harmony. There's always fear. And I know it can sound silly to say, but there's always fear that we're never going to find somebody, right? We're always going to be alone. We'll have nobody who cares about us. And the list goes on. So I have to be with this person because at least they care, right? At least they care a little bit. Or at least they seem like they care every now and then. But if it's always fighting, if it's always chaos, what good is that serving you? Here, this is going to be a time where where you see yourself more, where your magic starts to come into play. And it brings us to the hermit. It brings us to this place where we turn inward and we say, what do I love? What do I want? And what I love here is that we have the hermit the and the magician. I always see the hermit as the evolved magician, right? We start off holding our wand up in our hand, saying, this is what I'm going after, claiming our power, our distinction, our tenacity, our everything. We're like, yeah, I got this, right? Bright-eyed magician going out into the world. Get to number 9, right? From 1 to 9. And we're battle wearied. The purple robe that we have here that's so bright and shiny and new is tattered and worn and has lived. And so during this time, we are crowned with the fact that we have lived. It has been a journey. It has been intense. It has been overwhelming. And yet we are still seeing ourselves. We're still standing in our power. We're still, putting one foot in front of the other. When it comes to love, it's such a simple word, right? It is such a easy thing to say. And yet to find those beautiful love relationships that are gorgeous and peaceful and just comforting and lovely, those are really hard. And so here with the hermit, we're turning inward. We're seeing a flexibility of spirit. We're seeing also a sense of, what do I love? What do I want? Where do I want to be? And it's not what the other person wants from us. It's like, where do I want to be? And it brings us to the magician. We're standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our magic, our power, our distinction, our prosperity, our, ourselves, and saying, this is the magic of me. There's nobody else in this world quite like me. I get to shine. I get to live my life in the distinction and the beauty that is me. Not what other people want of me, but that is me. And it brings us then to the Three of Pentacles, where we start to really work on the details with things, but we also work with others, because the Three of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, is 3 people coming together, making a cathedral or whatever they're building. And here it is one woman creating a blanket. She's quilting, she's weaving, she's creating something that is magnificent. And what we're going to see is that as we, stitch each stitch of our lives, as we, create and cultivate, we're making something that is magnificent. And the cobweb over us is that, yes, life is more complicated than we thought it was going to be, but a cobweb is also beautiful. If we look at the story of Arachne in Greek mythology, she was a fantastic weaver. She was just a beautiful weaver who said that her skills at weaving were better than that of the gods. And then Athena came down and said, how dare you? Challenged her. And when Arachne was going to win, she turned her into a spider and said, Athena turned Arachne into a spider and said, you will be weaving for the rest of your life. And yet no one will ever look at the beauty that you create. And can we feel that with our own love sometimes, with what we are creating and cultivating in the world? I am weaving something so beautiful. I'm creating something so beautiful, but nobody notices. Start to notice you. Start to notice you and let yourself shine, because this is going to be a time where your heart is filling with the love that you want in your life. And we always, maybe gross generalization to say we always think, but we tend to think as people, like, I have to get all these people to be interested in me. You only need one, right? For most people, that's what we want. We want one person to see us, to connect with us. And so here we see a dove above this cup, which I love, the sense of peace and harmony moving us forward as we release our tears, as we release the heartbreaks that we've been carrying with us, or the fears that we've been carrying with us. And we start to say, I get to shine. I get to be beautiful. I get to embrace my heart. And then that starts to bring our world into balance. And we start to say, okay, what is out of balance here? What is out of harmony? What isn't working for me? And it can be from when we were young, that we're looking at this and saying, no, not right. Not right. I don't want this. And as we start to see the harmony that is coming back into our life, or where we need that harmony, we embrace our fire, our passion, our creativity. We say, these are my talents. And it doesn't matter if your talent is being a neurosurgeon or your talent is working in sales, and working the sales floor. They're both important talents. Let yourself shine. We tend to think, oh, it has to be just like this, or it has to be just like that, or I'm not as important as. We all have our cog in our place in this world. And so letting our talents shine and saying, this is me, I respect and love me, and moving forward with that confidence of self. Like, confidence is sexy, and saying, I get to shine in this. Certain people will be repelled by it. Yeah, most definitely, but they're not your people. So letting yourself shine is going to be so important during this time. Your fire, your passion, your distinction, your real sense of, this is me. And it brings us then to our subconscious spirit message, which is focus reversed. So we're not focused really on what we love and what we want, and how we embrace the peace and the harmony within ourselves. We could be a little bit all over the place, which makes sense. I mean, there's so much coming forward here, and we can be so inclined towards our work and building and growing and seeing things, move forward in such extraordinary ways. So here, when we focus on, what do I love? Where do I want to be? How do I want to move forward? It can be harder. We can find it hard to like pinpoint what we really want. So during this time, just say to yourself, this is what I want, right? And it can sound outlandish. Don't make it so specific that, they have to be this tall, or, this weight, or this whatever, which I've heard people say. And it's like, okay, sketch up an outline. If you're looking for a relationship, and let that be your guiding force. If you're in a relationship, focus on letting your love shine forward, letting yourself shine forward, because it's so easy to lose yourself, especially as a Taurian, to lose yourself to what makes other people happy, to what smooths the way forward. And people don't usually think about that with Taurus. They think like, oh, bullheaded and stubborn and, tenacious and go-getters and everything, but they forget how sensual a Taurus is. They forget how much a Taurian loves love. And so this is a time to say, I'm claiming that back, and I'm focusing on that love moving me forward. And it brings us then to our chakra message, which is our soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. It's our angels and our masters. This is our angels and our spirit guides wrapping their wings around us, saying, I'm here for you. I'm protecting you. I'm guiding you forward. I'm moving you forward towards love, but also in protection, in the sense of trust your gut, trust your instincts, move forward in the love and beauty that is you, because I've got you. And that's what your angels are telling you. It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of. We need to be in the moment. It's going to be so easy to be in the past. It's going to be so easy to be in the future. But to stand in the right here and right now and show up for ourselves, that's going to be something that's a little bit difficult. And that's okay for it to be difficult. But just knowing that that's going to be one of the hurdles that we have during this time. It's interesting that the repeat of the number 9, right, in the energy to be mindful of, because 9 is just a very human number. And we can have a hard time, really accepting the human aspect of love, right? The ups, the downs, the heartbreaks, the pains, the disappointments, the messiness of just being human. So here we can say, oh, but I have to be perfect, right? I'm working on myself until I'm absolutely perfect, and then I can find somebody. Or, this is a hard time in my relationship. What do I do? And what Spirit is saying here is like, we accept the human aspect of ourselves and of life. And we don't have to be perfect. And our relationship isn't going to be perfect all the time. We'll have moments of joy and happiness and perfection. And we'll have moments of, man, it's harder than I ever thought it was going to be. And respecting ourselves in that, and not being so hard on ourselves, is going to be a very important thing. It moves us then to our subconscious tarot message. And this is the 4 of Wands reverse. Okay. Some of us who are watching might be divorced. Okay. Some of us could realize, I don't really want to be married, right? I want to have a committed relationship, but I don't want marriage. Now, if you're saying, that's not me, I want marriage, I want this, I want that, I want things to be more traditional, just know here that the month of April might not be the wedding bell month, okay? But there is a sense of really looking at the foundation of what you want to build and what you want to celebrate. We can have a tendency also, if you're saying, well, I'm getting married in April, it is the wedding bell month, because I know somebody saying that. With the 4 of Wands reverse, it's like, look at what you want to celebrate, because there's something here where we're taking away the celebration of love and of life and of everything, and it's becoming just it's just so much work. It's just so much work. No celebration. And Spirit is saying here, make sure we celebrate. Make sure we celebrate ourselves. Make sure we celebrate our love. Make sure we celebrate our passion. Make sure we celebrate. Okay. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of our love, of the month of April, and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.